All right, what's up, guys? So we got JDG versus KT Game 2 VOD review. Um, so we got the bands of Rumble, Sejuani, Azir. We got Zaya, Callista, and then Jarvan. So we got a lot of early game based picks right here. We got the best blind gone away, removed for Keen. Sejuani's interesting, and Azir. Now, keep in mind, they've put up like a pretty good priority on Nico. You can make a lot of plays, you can pressure lane, and you're great for team fights. And of course, these guys are really big on team fighting. This is pretty interesting, especially because Ori's up. So like a lot of people will be like, okay, you take Ori, you can win lane really well with her. She scales. And again, that's also partially why they're banning like Jarvan. So we'll see if KT literally just take the Ori away, which they will. Or maybe they won't. Right, they will. Okay. And then they take Aphelios. So there's been like an uprising of like Aphelios, right? Like picking Aphelios. Right. Because you can play enchanters with it, you can play some melee picks with it. And then also like, there's a growing trend of like LPL teams playing it as well. The only reason why I'm not exactly the fondest with it is like already like this champ kind of makes him like this is like pretty annoying for him. Like you can't go Milio and just like full cleanse like the Nico, like what Nico does, especially if like Milio is caught in it too. So you see them instantly going, okay, well, if you're gonna pick Orianna Aphelios, I'm gonna pick a champion that will ensure you cannot escape from me, and then we're gonna take Rakan to further improve our situation. And now Renata is pretty good, mostly because Renata allows you to it allows Aphelios to actually absorb it and maybe get back out of it. Two, if you're going directly into them, then yeah, like this pick is pretty good. So this was good. This was good by them. They banned rulers. Zeri, he's one of the few people who's actually whipping out Zeri at this tournament. So cool. Kaisa, I mean, I guess mostly again, she can kind of like get out of situations that she's doing. There's a good Kaisa player. They ban Poppy. Again, if you're building like getting more dashes because you already have two right here. Sure. What should their last ban be? Because they're gonna have to blind top most likely. So they might throw a top ban. I'm just not sure exactly what they want to throw up there. Like Renekton, ideally into like champs that would like dive in. Renekton's also really good. A Jax is open, and so but the thing is like if they ban Renekton and then they take Jax, what does he have? I guess he'd play Gragas, and Gragas would be fine. And actually, Gragas would be really good into these picks overall. Huh? We'll see how they go about it. Or do they throw another jungle ban? Oh, so they're gonna ban Rel. Okay, so they banned another jungler. Oh shit, Maokai was open. Okay, low key, I definitely would have just taken Maokai. I know it's Maokai Orianna, but it's just the fact that those champs together, like it's already gonna be hard for them to play. And if you pick Maokai, that means you can actually play Jace top. That's interesting. We'll see what they do. Neela? No way. Cool. I mean, they used to do this shit all the time. You'd pick Jinx into Aphelios, and these two just like would determine the game. It was like this and then this champ, right? Those were the main three. I'm not that fond of this pick. I'm not gonna lie, this pick doesn't really do too much for these guys. Like he's just pretty much just clean up and do like do it that way. But I don't know. I'm not the happiest about this one. What else would I have taken? I mean, Sejuani's gone. I mean, I would have taken the Maokai. There's really like not like a billion picks to do at this point. And you can't play like you don't really want to play a pure carry either because you just want to pick something that helps these carries like survive, and he doesn't really do that. So like Maokai probably was the best pick. Unless I'm forgetting something. I mean, no, I wouldn't pick Ivern because the problem with picking Ivern is like, yeah, like your guys are like really survivable, but you don't really have any playmaking, which is pretty bad. Like you could go Nocturne, actually. It's a little spicy, but you could definitely go Nocturne. Do some wacky shit with that. I think that's all I see though. So they pick Renekton. Okay, I mean Renekton is good into their champs. It's like fine into Aatrox. It's like a skill matchup. Um, hmm. Can't really do anything level 1. Renekton's not really that good with messing with people on their jungle. Their bot lane is decent at evading, and they could mess with the Raptors. But that kind of cheese invade only works if, you know, you scouted them out in, you know they don't ward, and it's just probably usually not worth it. Now, where should the Viego path? Most likely, I guess it just depends on how their top laner wants to play it out. Because you don't have to path top. Like, it's not like that dire for either side to go up there. And a lot of this, like, the play for JDG again is to go into bot lane. So, he's going to path for the Renekton. So notice, like, the Renekton's here. It doesn't do anything. It's not like a Jax or whatever. Like, he doesn't really do anything. And it looks like he ate a shit trade already, top. And I'm going to assume that's because, what? I mean, it looks like he invites it. Like, because this guy got probably like 2 Qs off in his passive, so that sucks. But I mean, Renekton has sustain, so not the end of the world. And yeah, it looks like it helped him like ensure he gets the level 2. So these guys see each other, they know what's going on. This game's gonna be pretty simple. You notice that like Knight is getting a pretty reasonable trades off on mid. I mean, that's the power of Nico. This guy reverse cleared. Wow. So keep in mind, so cuz they're gonna assume this guy's just like in here, right? And then they're hoping that they get enough trade on here. This is why this guy drank his pot. This guy doesn't have to. Also, I will say again, like the level 1 trade, was it ideal for him? No, but he has sustain. And then also if you're using spells like that, it means he can't really touch the wave. He can, so he's gonna get level 2. And then he could zone, and then so he gets like all this pressure. So instead of taking this free crab and then maybe trying to pressure this way, he actually comes down. This guy's not anticipating it, right? And once this guy realizes, okay, I'm probably not getting the crab, but this guy's leaning on right side because his jungler's on the bot side, right? Because Kanavi's there. And they just go for the play. And now this is great because BDD can relieve the pressure on himself. Even if it's just an assist, like he gets the 150 gold. Sweet. Oh, nice. Amy, what? Cool. So Amy, what the you want the scaling item. Nice. You know what's also nice about this outcome? So not only did they relieve mid, their carry jungler got a kill, and he still gets the top crab. So not bad. And Vi's not like the fastest clearer, so she can't actually like get back here exactly in time. Now, if you're gonna notice from what happens, this Jinx is chilling, right? They couldn't successfully fully crash the bot wave, it seems, so now it's gonna rebuild. So these guys are looking to actually like play for the dragon. This guy has blue gun. Blue gun is like one of the situations for Aphelios in the laning phase when he hits like the level 3-4 mark, that he can actually just burn waves. And he also has a ton of kill pressure because these 2 guns are really good this early on. So this guy went to go ward just to make sure he's like safe. Is it safe or is he just clearing the ward? Oh, he's just clearing the ward. Okay, so he's just clearing the ward because he has the time. But because he left, this guy burns the wave. They can't really do the dragon because stops the dragon. But he doesn't do his Krugs. And then so it just becomes, is it worth stopping the dragon? Because he could have taken his Krugs. right? And he could have played on the top wave, and maybe they can get the flash of 369, and then he'll just re-clear. So like, you know, he would do this into this, hopefully get this guy's flash, and then he would just base, and then just literally re-clear back up. Maybe he has to retake bot, who knows? And then you just pressure the Herald with Renekton and disadvantage. Instead, he came bot. He doesn't want them to have like the drag stacking. It also lets his bot lane play a little bit more looser, especially because the wave was like here, right? So technically his bot lane can't really touch this wave, especially if Vi comes around and like jungle is here. And then this might even return into like a possible dive. So those are like the kind of consequences that if he did the Krugs, like yes, maybe at least something to this where he could just like normal clear. But at the same time, there's a possibility that his bot lane, depending on how things go, especially with mid lane too, could die or lose sums, or it just might be a pain in the ass. This is probably the worst outcome that could happen because notice, you know, because Cuz like shows up here, no, fine. This guy, you know, his Ori doesn't have mid push. And that mostly just comes from the fact that, like, you know, Nico died first, and then so she could actually be in lane to pressure a little bit. It looks like also BDD rushed his TP, so he didn't have mana. Oh, he did have mana. He loses that much mana that quickly? Wow. Impressive. Well, I'll say for item-wise, like, he definitely can trade a lot more into this guy if he wants to, because he has superior items for the 1v1. But it looks like BDD is not doing that. He's not actively looking to do it. And if he's playing for wave, then Knight's going to win because Knight, like, champ is, like, infinitely better, right, at doing that. And at this point, you know, if you can't take the pink here, like, he could go and sit on bot side. And then he's just going to hope that his bot lane can push again with the blue gun. And then they can roll up after one more timer. And, you know, I'm not sure what would happen mid. Maybe, you know, I'm going to assume the Nico's will be able to get another mid push. And maybe this, like, blocks anything like this. So the end result might be a really stalled JDG Dragon because of the way mid lane is, like, you know, these pinks they have here, the way mid lane's playing out. Because it looks like BDD did not contest HP early enough. Like, he contested the wave versus the health bar, which kind of, you know, now he has no mana, so it's like he can't really do both. And then, you know, now you're trying to contest this, like, late with your mid laner. And it's just like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, she's here. She can throw the ball, right? Obviously, Rakan can do, like, a flash play, and this guy does not have flash, so, like, he has to be really careful. Lehens is here. Personally, I'd prefer if he was, like, here. And I say that just because, like, you know, yeah, he's contesting forward this way, but maybe if he's sitting here this way, he can always, like, react it with him. Let's see how BDD plays it. It seems like they just... It seems like they just didn't know which one was the right, the Jinx. Because they're both hitting, right? So not like 100% who is who. Now you know who's is who. But again, he doesn't have flash. And she does... She get... Renata W? I mean, she gets Renata W. This guy gets rooted. Does he get rooted by traps? Oh, he does. And BDD doesn't really do anything. Like, basically what BDD would have to do here is you'd have to move up, throw his ball here, shockwave these guys, and then this guy has to kind of, like, go all in. Also, purple-white is really bad. Like, is there any way for him to not be on these guns? Oh, he needs to just... Oh, that was a mistake. He needs to just use his purple here. So if he saves his blue, especially if they're going to contest this, he needs to save the blue, use purple here. I know he's trying to burn the wave, but he needs to use his purple here. That way he has blue gun, and then he can actually they have a chance. Like, the only way this works is if they're able to get a kill for, you know, Viego and the Renata W. Otherwise, these guys are kind of like in a position where they can just kind of jump on you. You don't have flash, and this is kind of dangerous. And so they jump on this guy. Like I said, if he throws his ball here, these guys might go on him here. But if they go on Ori, it's actually good because, you know, Ori can actually flash out and get away, and this buys him time. If these guys are allowed to just kind of go into these guys, then it's really bad. So BDD has to take a risk. He must take a risk. And then, of course, hopefully he has blue gun instead of white. But I think the fact that he has these guns, they should never do this in the first place. Like, this is just like not a play. So that's rough because now they got the dragon. You didn't full clear as Viego, so you didn't get like the clear, easy advantage for yourself and then for your top laner. And now he's gonna re-clear, and they're gonna have to play for Herald. And these guys trade R for R, which is actually bad for Keen. Did he have to do this? I don't really like it. Like, the reason why I don't like it is because he wants to have this, like, his ulti, because it's so strong for fights. For the Herald fight. Like, yeah, he's gonna have pressure. But like I said, he's just... I prefer not doing it this way. It's just like that, huh? Look at that. So in this situation, keep in mind, because of like how it went for the bot lane, like aiming, right? Like, look at the aftermath. So actually, it's interesting. They stayed for a plate, which I guess they have an item or something for it. Commonly, you would not do that because you want to make sure you have tempo to be back here, like initiative, so you can actually contest him when he comes back. But they actually didn't do that. So they're going to be a little bit late on the Herald swap, technically. At least if these guys want to do it that way, they can do it that way. And the Viego, I mean, this is one of the cases, remember when I said, when I was talking about like how this would go? Technically, when he clears these camps, he either has to like retake this so they can move, or he just pads up and then he hopes that his top side will secure him it on their own, right? So this is one of those cases where, yeah, like naturally JDG have like a lot of room to kind of just like push and do whatever they want. These guys also could have hit the wave more because they're playing it really slow, but they actually could have hit the wave more so they could get in a stronger position. Because even if it's like here and it's pushing a little bit faster than you wanted to, that's fine because you have access to move up. The fact that it's here means these guys just walk up and they have all this vision still. You know, it's just the KT bot lane didn't want to take any risk. They didn't want to take any risk. And yeah, like Vi can go back bot if she wants to, technically, and fish for you because you don't have flash. And that in itself is scary. And maybe that's a reflection towards what Cuz is doing, because maybe they kept the wave here because Cuz is clearly like moving up this way. But if that's the case, then also Lehens kind of needs to cheat over and maybe get through too, if he can. Because the end result is like, you know, Cuz tries to test it, but, you know, these guys move up and it's like, okay, well, we clearly can't do it. So now you lost Herald as the Renekton team when your Renekton is winning, and it's looking really bad. It's looking really bad. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he's down here because, like, you know, he needs to give them cover. They don't have flashes. They're really scared about Vi 6. And it looks like they actually get a kill this way. So look, Viego's naturally down here, right? Vi's here. Did they see this taken? Yeah, I mean, they basically saw her take it. So they know, like, okay, this could be dangerous. But now this is the weird thing, because they're moving in. This wave is not fully there, and these guys are still kind of contesting in your face. So you would think, okay, this is like clearly dangerous, right? And it is, especially because your Renata does not have flash. And what do? This guy goes on the flash's target. He presses R. He gets 2 people, and they instantly kill this guy. And now BDD is TPing, and he doesn't flash, so he dies. Cause it's like, okay, maybe I can get something out of this. Oh, okay. I'm really curious if aiming could do more here, because if aiming hits this, I mean, he kills Kanavi. Obviously, he will kill Kanavi. This guy might be dead. I wonder if he can actually turn it around. Because normally I would not think so. But if BDD... Does BDD see this guy ulting? Pretty sure he does, because this guy doesn't have W up either. So I'm pretty sure he sees this. And he actually could have flashed. He doesn't have shockwave. And if he flashed, it might be possible to win this. Maybe. But the fact that they made another error, like they couldn't get actually anything off that skirmish. Like I said, this game's looking really, really rough. Drag 2 will definitely go over the JDG. Their balling will take over in a little bit. Wow. You know, I assume JDG would be able to get this next dragon. But part of the reason why they can't... How much gold did Jinx have? So Jinx bought her item now, so she had 92. By the end of this fight, Jinx had basically full health. And Rakan basically had full health. So ideally, Rakan would just take his base and match Renata instead of doing an additional play on mid. And don't get me wrong, I understand they're trying to catch her and stop her from doing this. I'm pretty sure Knight could have done it on his own. Because the end result with like Dragon coming up, is, yeah, I mean, Rakan's late, so Jinx can't contest the wave because Rakan's not here. And then we see this guy actually bases. So he's like ready to rumble. And they have to go for a steal. Also, the Nico was later. No, Nico was a little bit sooner. Yeah, it's just the Rakan play. Missing should have gone for that mid play. If he doesn't go for the mid play, they can actually contest. And of course, King TP's in. It's really awkward. Now, this guy not dying, again, is just another... That's why he does the Braum emote, because it's like his top laner gets to, you know, bounce back in this matchup off this play. It's rough. It's rough out here as KT. It's like there's just a lot of plays coming through, and there's like just some minor adjustments that need to be made. You know, it's just some minor adjustments, and I mean that's what it happens in League, you know. At the top level of any sport, esport, whatever it is, you know, these small little decisions really mean a lot. And at this point, you know, JDG, you know, he's on his item. Same with aiming. Same with junglers. It looks mostly even on items. 1-to-1 dragons, but the team that's like constantly having control is JDG. Like, yeah, they should have gone the second dragon. But regardless, you know, like, they're the team that's in the driver's seat. There's only been one play by KT that was really them, like, actually making the play first, and that was the mid gank. Oh, fuck me. So, okay, look how this works. So, Kanavi comes into the map. Jinx is sorry, not Jinx, Nico. It's gonna be annoying looking at the map like that. So Nico's pushing out bot over Ori, right? Jinx is contesting mid. This guy is in the shit. But he's mostly doing it because his top laner has push, right? So he's gonna move in with this guy. And then Jinx can kind of move in as well. Rakan's just running a little late. And it's Nico pushed out bot. So he goes on this. It's like, it's fine, but it's not like the safest of things to do. Like, he never even had to do this. He could have just done the Herald as is. So the Jinx, she needs to connect. So that's why Missing comes over here. You see the TP being done by Ori. She just got her Mythic. And then we also see the Nico come out. Now, here's the thing. These guys right here, they are actually caught out. Now, he has Cleanse, so, and Flash. This guy has Flash. This guy has no Flash. He has red-blue. Do they know where everyone else is? Like, they know Aatrox could be pressuring around here. They don't know where Nico is. There's some missing information. Also, the most OP thing is that he pulled this Herald back. So this has to make them come even deeper into this area that they have Fog of War. I mean, I understand the play they're going for, but it's just like, oof. So he goes for this, and he can't reach. And that's why, like I said, it doesn't really... Like, the best thing he probably could have done is flash R. So he'd flash, like, this distance, and then his R would cover this. And that might do it, because then everyone will just run in, take the Herald. Everyone has to come out this way on JDG, so they're all going to be sitting here. And at this point, then you're just kind of going to leave out. So the way it looks is everyone on JDG, they run here. They're stuck here. These guys will move up. They will take the Herald, and then they'll leave out this way. That's pretty much how it goes. So maybe that's the best play for Lehens, is to use his R and Flash, because Flash Q does nothing. Like, if he Flash Qs, he'll be here, and his Q extends here, but this guy's running too fast. So it's never going to hit him. It would only be on him. Wasted ability. And can they move in sooner? I think Lehens is being a little bitch. I think he... I mean, at this point, I think he could just stay here. And I don't think this guy even needs to go on this, per se. Because it's like, this doesn't change the wave that much. Like, he could actually just sit here. And Lehens could just be here. I mean, he could even go and attack this if he wants to. Because if Lehens is sitting here, they can never do anything here. And that way, he'll get here sooner. And maybe they could stop this, like, grouping up in the first place. But outside of that, you know, the way this goes is, you know, Lehens Flash Qs, nothing. Keen presses R. And it's just like, nothing's there. And then by the time he does use it, it's like, it's covering here. These guys got zoned off. Now the Herald, you could go for the Herald, but these guys are here already. You know, like, it's too late. I wonder if Lehens should have R'd backwards seeing this. Because when I'm sorry for taking so long to look at this fight, but it's like a very critical fight for them at this point. Because if he does it now, these guys, he has to cleanse. He probably has to cleanse Flash, in all honesty. Because this guy's going to run at him. And even if he cleanses, this guy will stun it. And this guy has... He can't get hit by it. Because if he gets hit by it, he can't, like, CC anyone. And he should use red Q to speed up. It might work. I'm not 100% sure, but it might work. Because this heavily also depends on the Nico. Now, BDD, I'm going to say right now, from BDD's standpoint, because he's so late to, like, being involved in this, I would prefer him coming this way with them, and then he could have his ball here and stop anything from this way. So if they do it this way, they go here. Here, I'm sorry for again, like I'm sorry for going over this so much, but like these guys get pushed out to this location here. BDD stops anyone coming from this way, and everyone else can just come in here. And then once they feel safe, if BDD can hold this well enough, then they can come back out this way, actually. But because he's, like, leaning this way, like, this guy's not going to do anything. So either he has to Renata R this side at this point, and then they just go on this, because these guys are already done. Or you do the other thing. Well, that's it, guys. Like, I'm gonna let it roll on 3 times and probably not do too many stoppages, because at this point, this game is like pretty over. And I say over in a sense that, like, okay, yes, is the Philios like decently farmed? Is the Ori decently farmed? Is the Viego like in an okay spot? Yeah, but this gold lead, I mean, the Viego can't do anything. Like, if his team can't pressure the map, like he basically just has to throw himself on side. Ooh, BDD. So I mean, that's what you need more of. But at the same time, because like BDD pushed out this wave, he just chilled. And then this guy didn't really anticipate him sneaking here. BDD, you know, I guess in the end he kind of has to be up here to defend. And like this guy doing this is huge, because if you drew this many people, like Aatrox, TP, other members, then that means Renekton can push out this wave. And then this means like, you know, Ori can come down here and get another wave. It's pretty nice. Like that was really good by BDD. I mean, I'm glad he didn't cancel the TP, because if he did, it would actually be really bad for the map state of JDG. So that is good. Oh, sorry, it'd be bad for the map state of KT. Sorry. Well, they're trying to contest drag, but I mean, so let's go over this real quick, okay? So you're coming in, you know, you're struggling to get priority, get pushes. You know, they look on this one timer in case there's like an option here. He gets to push another. Also, he can switch off his guns, which would be really good. Get off his purple gun. Now he has what? Is this green? Okay, he has green-white, and green-white is not half bad against this comp. So, okay. Now, notice Keen can't actually get mid-push. And this is like a slight error on his part, because this wave doesn't really matter. And I know Aatrox can hit the mid turret and maybe they can dance around this. But ideally, he kind of leaves this and just says, screw it, I need to be with the team. Because him being later to the situation, because he noticed he has to TP to actually join them, is not ideal. And what happens is we have missing here. So he sits here alone, right? And they're not like 100% sure where everyone else is, which is important to note. Like, where do they see? They see Aatrox here. They don't know where Nico is. Yeah, they have no idea where Nico is. Like, she pushed out bot, and she could have stayed bot, and she could be behind this guy. So that's the only reason why I'm going to assume that they're a little hesitant to just go, like, push this guy out right away. Because what if she's here? and then Vi wasn't showing yet either, and so is Ruler. So if like they're all stacked, you go on this and you get baited, I mean you just lose, right? So he's kind of playing on that like information not being like available to these guys, and so this is really smart by him. But I will say though, if I'm BDD, I am definitely chunking, like throwing a Q out. No one else needs to do anything, just BDD. But I really hate the idea that like missing is getting this much. And then of course, because he never successfully like drives this guy to at least be in the try, like you should at least be able to drive him into the try brush. This guy, and again, because this guy didn't move, and so because he didn't do this guy comes down, this guy goes up, you're pinched. You're so screwed. It's just it's a killing ground. And they can't do anything about it. So these guys get played on. Can they react to it? He hits R. You kind of just need to like... I'm not going to lie. It's one of those cases where you kind of need to just flash right away. Even though you see Rakan, and it feels extremely bad. But you can't react it. Like, it's really impossible to react. And now the game is over. Because at this point, you know, these guys get the dragon. They have Baron. You just can't really do anything. You know, this guy gets caught. Dies. That's it. And that's the game. And really all it came down to was, you know, the first dragon contest went poorly. The first herald, you know, understanding if your bot can move or not, and also that stems from the first dragon. So a lot of like the issues stem from the first dragon. Like that really dictated like how this like whole game went. First drag, because that bled into the herald, and then screwing up the herald. You know, that give the enemy like a lot of like a potential to do whatever the hell they want, and they screwed up another fight, and then they screwed up another fight, and before you know it, you know, you're down 5k, and what are you going to do?